Welcome to Melodies TV, Ghana's #1 social platform.
Therefore, me mamuni akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Obi asene me article bi na article no 2016 and papa bi aye friend no Emeritus Professor DEK Amenume otro article on Western Togoland in Sensemi. Now, Nepakone sent me article and I was reading the article and I was like, wow. Say Emeritus Professor etumi atro sa de we ya. Naturally say Ghana for I was set your chenkro for because I've told you says our Western Togoland in Sensemi a lot of people they are being misinformed. Na no enema sebe nkrofo kra joining sa Western Togoland because omo a wo joining no ebia historical facts bi wo ho a they don't know nti ye twa wo mo ntro nti na wo mo akwa ka ho no. Now, article now, Emeritus Professor DEK Amenume or Troy, you know. You have article on this, but if I couldn't send him an article, I was like, how authentic is this? A year Emeritus Professor, you will trust our article now, September 3rd, 2016. Now, a hot and I'm yes, I may call me checks. Now, me call me checks, now me who say, wow, September 2nd, 2016, as you are seeing right in front of you, even Daily Guide, and then that will need me. Daily Guide, a report here. Daily Guide is one of the top newspapers in the country. Wamompo a report here on the article. Emeritus, you are seeing the name here, Emeritus Professor DEK Amenume. Into Daily Guide for report here, which shows the nekre obitro article bisa Professor B, Emeritus Professor B, etro article nisa. Ebiana will be per se, we're checking the authenticity of this particular article. You better ni pakwa wa troye. The person's name is Emeritus Professor DEK Amenume. Yanko check it title Emeritus Professor. Nini hu ne say ye ka say ye friend will be Emeritus Professor. Nipa kono we ye den ansa na ya ba article no because once say bibi sa ba eya na nkrofo omo pese wo mo attack the personality who wrote it. Say ye ko hena nipa kono a wo tro na say bi oni nim die bia wo history ho a ene ne be ka say bia nipa kono article na wa tro no kran na say be nyansa enim ana wo twantro. But ko hena hu say nipa kono wa ko school edu etire we see idea do it and say yes nipa kono ade a water no wonim ade a work. So let's check the meaning of a year Emeritus Professor. I say the title is awarded to retired professors who have made an exceptional contribution in academic leadership terms, including dedicated achievement to his or her field of study. So you see the will be Emeritus Professor, yema will be titled Emeritus Professor. Just say nipa kunu we sua de akwa do a tre. Na senior we sua de akwa do echi no, it is the topmost level. We a leader in academics. Wasanso ewo achievements bia ono ne field no hu ne say wo bia ento no. Say nipa kunu e friend Emeritus Professor. I'm telling you, sa article ya ye ba be read. The pakra wa troye no woye Emeritus Professor na tre say wonim history wa ben e wo history mu nti wo try and say sa Togoland fo nsem a wo mo ka no wo no be try and the history behind it because wa school edu etire wonim e na ansa na obi ebedu sa Emeritus Professor ne ka na tre say wenyin unhu obi asabe wedi mi hu obi a wedi 40 50 a wedu sa Emeritus Professor it's Emeritus Professor mostly omo anyi che say we hia de akwa ko du chi ama wenyi wom. So that is the identity of the author of this article here ba be read actual no. Now let's go into the article. Na sa article yi nsem bi wo ho a maboso e wo channel we so pen. And Nebema who say yes, Melodies. I was saying, say journalists in this country they should use this opportunity to educate people. Now let's go into the article. We'll say for the past several, and this article means one thing. Once I same way by no, Nkrofo bebre at the year politics. Nkrofo the year politics say oh, and the same way crano they be NDC ba be mu and sana or see they be MPP ba be mu and sana Western Togoland from wo mu peja wo money. Na NDC wa bemu dia wo monkasa. And this article was written on September 3rd, 2016. September 3rd, 2016 NDC na ne wa bemu. And so it tells you if an emeritus professor will write something on Western Togoland, the historical fact, now watrono on September 3, 2016, and actually say within 2016 na NDC wa ba mu no na actually say Western Togoland for no mu pagya omone intia na professor ne trust article no inti obi a woka say 2016 na embra NDC wa ba mu nkrofo e wo mu ankasa no. This is an evidence to show say nkrofo no wo mu pagya omone during NDC time and a professor bi e ba e be set record straight. Now let's go into it. Well, see, for the past several years, I have been dismayed and alarmed by the bogus and unsubstantiated claims being peddled both in writing and declamation about the scope and import of the plebiscite that the United Nations Organization conducted in Togoland under British trusteeship in May 1956. I have been persuaded to rejoin to stop this misinformation that could trigger some rather serious consequences. In 2016, Emeritus Professor Walker Adewe said, "Sa die na ekoso no yanhwe ya ebetumi de nsunsuanso boni bi aba 4 years down." Emeritus Professor no wanya prophet now, so 4 years down so boni na Walker ho asem no, we are beginning to experience it. So ono 4 years ago no wo kasa say sa die na nkrofo ne ka no enye ne kre na yentwa so say yentwa so a edinsuaso boni beba. And we are beginning to see the instances of Boneno. Now, was it in the first place, it should be pointed out that the only people that were involved were the people of the then districts of Ho, Bando, Buem Krachi, Gonja, Dagomba, and Mamprusi. Most certainly, the people of Peki, Tongo, Anglon, Sam, and Some, and related Ewe were not involved because they had constituted part of the British colony of the Gold Coast right from the second half of the 19th century. And this particular thing, Obia will follow Melodies and say, "Ndra, me cancer Adewe. Adewe ya be ngrofu say the whole water regional." But Emeritus Professor Netre say, "Ade ne kran no, wo mo aye ka say Western Togoland for aye ma wo mo to aba say wo mo beka Ghana for ho no, eye ho, Bando, Buem Krachi, ewo Oti River." Oti region. Monsieur Oti River. Ewo Oti region. Gonja, any Dagomba, ni Mamprusi for. Womo na womo ye Togoland for womo to aba womo beka Ghana ho. But uko Anglon, uko Tongo, uko Some, any other Ewe people now, they were already part of Gold Coast. And I told you guys this thing yesterday, and the Emeritus Professor is confirming this. And it was a Melodies, ye the assemble asebi, ye research and say ye deba. But people don't know this. A young professor said the whole of water region. But some, in fact, a greater majority of water region, no, they were part of Gold Coast and San as our Western Togoland for Eba. It is almost almost the whole water region home. What you say? Aha. It's Yantiaso. This is Emeritus Professor Nokasa. International Melodies na me can be. And I've showed you articles and the identity of the person. In the way the Enya say intro. Now, what's it? Secondly, there is no iota of truth in the claim that the decision of the United Nations Organization following that plebiscite was time-bound, that it was to remain in force for 50 years. Thirdly, the demand and agitation for succession of all Ewe people of the Volta region of Ghana and with union the Republic of Togo has no basis in law or fact. As someone Emeritus Professor Walker and say, in Krofoya Wamoka, because one say Western Togoland for someone more can say, Wamobeka Ghana Hono Yakasa after 50 years or move to me at Wamoho. Emeritus Professor say, Sa plebiscite no entro time bia enkaho. And you see, I can confirm this in the sense that the very first time I reported on a year Western Togoland for Wamu Blocky Road no, Wobia na was supporting Omo was sending me a lot of documents. And yeah, Nkofo Bebre and almost supported Western Togoland for. Was that Western Togoland for this is not the first time. Embre me come wansem Emma Wamu nipa bi frame me di mi atem. Now, me can roadblock now Wamu block here no. Some people belonging to the Western Togoland sent me a lot of videos. Some also sent me text messages. Some also sent me documents. Now, one of the documents and the bakone sending me no, I was reading them. Now, what's your plebiscite now? As someone you catch more documents ni mo say. Plebiscite vote na muko vote no. Muko vote say mo pese mo ye de mo beka Ghana ho. Se wo pene so anka se ane, wo mpene so a ka se wo mpe. Nanso se wo kwaka se ane a, fatu wo tiri mu se it will affect wo anyway chimba nina. And that was the article. Nipa ko ne send me sa article, me kra me point out that article to the person say saa die we amokọ sign ye no kra no. Ye try ye se mokọ sign a, e be affect mu chimba nia. Nti aden na afei, mu be try yen say time eboso. Nti the emeritus is showing say time bia ni wa eboso. Time bia enka ho. Nti so obi be ka tell say, ye kase ye omo sign for 50 years, I was say ye ntro. E na obi nso be ka tell say ya igbefuo ni na. Emeritus Professor say ye ntro. Answer na wo mo beba no wa candidate answer na wo mo beba no na igbefuo bi bebre. In fact the majority of igbefuo answer na Togoland for ne beba na the majority of igbefuo e wo Ghana deda no mo ka Ghana ho deda. Now what was I say the decision to organize a plebiscite in British Togoland was actually the culminative of a series of developments that had occurred following the demand for unification by the Ewe people, who found themselves split into 3 distinct political entities, namely the Gold Coast Colony, Togoland under British trusteeship, and Togoland under French trusteeship. There is no need to enter into so much details here. The reader can consult 2 publications by the author. These are 1. The Plebiscites in Togoland, a historical account in the Universitas, an interfaculty journal, University of Ghana. Not to say, was it University of Ghana krano okwa enkrata enkrata bi wo ho a obetumi akwa read from 1976 a tre sa Togoland nsensemi e ka ho asemi ti ko read kra obehu na kre na wa asem ni mu nti asema nkrofo e ka a Western Togoland for enam asabe wo mo e de ye etutu asem no wo se e ye ntro. Osanso bo another article. It was written in 1989. Osanso bo page near 374. What tre into Opia wo University of Ghana bia no ubetumi akomo library na bia wakọ star articles na wo ka ho asem no. Now, was it the fact? In 1954, the UN General Assembly decided that in view of the eventual revision of termination of the trusteeship agreement under which both Togoland territories were administered by Britain and France, steps should be taken in the light of the particular circumstances of British Togoland to ascertain the wishes of the inhabitants of British Togoland as to their future, without prejudice to the eventual solution that they may choose whether to be independent. Unification of an independent Togoland under British administration with an independent Togo under French administration. Unification with an independent Gold Coast or some other self-governing independent status. UN General Assembly official records and resolution blah 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 1954. Accordingly, a mission was dispatched in August 1955 to ascertain the wishes of the people of British Togoland on their future. UN Trusteeship Council official records. It was a Emeritus Professor Nintino. What can be bia na wa tre records. Say oko UN 1956 documents bi wo ho obehu na ni na ne say embre bi bae sa Togoland for ye mo options. Mo pese mo nko amote mo ho ana mo pese mo beka Ghana ho ana mo pese mo ka Togo ho ye mo sa options no. It o man kasa na choose options no. Until someone walk on in you. But see, the mission recommended that in view of the fact that opinion in the territory was markedly divided between 2 rival views, a plebiscite should be held to decide finally whether the people wanted integration with the Gold Coast or whether the territory should remain under trusteeship after separating from the Gold Coast until a practicable future status for it could be finally recommended. It recommended specifically that the following questions be put at the plebiscite. Do you want the integration of Togoland under British administration with an independent Gold Coast? A. Do you want the separation of Togoland under British administration from the Gold Coast and its continuance under trusteeship pending the ultimate determination of its political future? The mission also recommended that the plebiscite results be determined separately in 4 more or less ethnically distinct areas. It suggested that in the northern sector or in the northern section, where opinion favored integration with the Gold Coast in view of the distinctive ethnic and linguistic characteristics of its population and the general conditions in the area, its future should be determined not by a majority of the total votes in the trust territory, by a majority of the votes within this area. In the southern sector of Ho and Kwando, the mission had observed divided opinion for integration and independence for a unified Togo. Again, in this district, the majority of the people was Ewe, and the question of Ewe unification had exerted considerable influence on the course of events in the region. The mission recommended that in this region also, the results of the plebiscite should be taken separately and should determine its future according to the choice of its voters. And so say, brofo kesen aye kani na say, wohwa sa togoland in semi na dagomba fo ene some part of eye agbefo ene ka ho na ya nya ne say ye de ni na ebom nti wokwa dagomba fo ne ho a plebiscite no ye say wo mo de ne ye ne separate oba eye agbefo na omo so be kan de already agbefo ne ho na ende wo mo claim some ye western togoland na wo mo so plebiscite no na no so ye pese ye declare no separate. Also again, also the Buem Krachi area contained populations of different ethnic composition and with other distinctive linguistic characteristics. Even within the districts, the mission noted that in its northern parts, opinion strongly favored integration with the Gold Coast, while in its southern parts, opinion was divided between integration and unification. Not just say, send me a teacher about to nim crano. Na ebimo obviously. One more person be can Ghana home. Ebimo so no more person be can Ghana home. Was the mission accordingly recommended that Buem Krache be divided into two separate areas to ensure the greatest possible measure of satisfaction of the aspiration of the population. The mission therefore recommended that the result of the plebiscite should be determined separately in the following four areas. It's the areas now plebiscites no. You say I was say you determine almost separately no any northern sector of British Togoland, Bando and Ho district together as one unit. Buem Krachi district north of the off boundary of the Akan local council area. Buem Krachi district south of boundary of the Akan local council area. The future of each of these units should be determined by the majority vote in each case. There should, however, be one exception to this based on considerations of effective administration. If either the northern or southern section alone divided in favor of integration with an independent Gold Coast, such wishes of the people of that part should be implemented when the Gold Coast attained independence. If one side or both favored separation from the Gold Coast pending a further determination of their future, this would necessitate the continuance of the trusteeship over the part of the territory pending the ultimate decision as to its future. It is very necessary to correct the long-held misconception that Volta region and Trans-Volta Togoland are the same. To say that Volta region is the same as what used to be called Trans-Volta Togoland or Western German Togoland from 1884 to 1916 or later British Togoland is a mistake. It is the same mistake the new breed of successionists are making. And so I say, as someone AC and they say, tete no, sa time no, na yawo Trans-Volta Togoland, and na yawo Volta region. It's a mistake at Western Togoland for they were making it say, and you almost say, sa time no Volta region, it was the same as the Trans-Volta Togoland. Was say a different Volta region was already there, and sana. Sa ho ne kpando fo no ye de omo beka ho mo na no ye Trans-Volta Togoland na ye de omo beka ho no or the Western German Togoland ati ase nti Western German Togoland and ye de omo ebeka ho nti sa Western Togoland when they are mistaking it. They think it was all the same, but say mistake e wo ho because the Volta region is separate and sa Western Togoland so na e separate nti sende muse moje eye anamope eye independence aden na modi Volta region na ebeka ho adi na Volta region wo ho de dansa na mo ba ozo pe independence ope so beje Volta region ya eboso eka ho. So this is what eye Emeritus Professor I want say adi aye reading ewa papa ba mo fan chen. We just want people to understand what's going on. The Volta region is an entirely new Ghanaian creation which had no old version before 6 March 1957. only a little portion of the Volta region can be tracked back into TVT, Transvolta Togoland. No. In fact, the entire Anglon land, Aveno land, Tongu land, Peki land, Ticho land, Ketu, Aflao land, etc., did not form part of the Transvolta Togoland. And I told you this yesterday. Say Anglon hin in the crab babon saying the spokesperson babon say because say so Western Togoland no one more Anglon for no one more can because the Anglon people were part of Ghana even before South Western Togoland for the Eba. And the Emeritus has shown and it's showing the crack. And I'm telling you, the majority of Volta region crano one more no more once a Western Togoland for neighbor. In Sisi I can man can say the whole of Volta region for the person moji omo. Eya na yen crofo say mo kra no Volta for na to de bia mo nya Ghana for won this show say Volta region the original Volta into the one can say Volta region din ne kra no Volta region din no yenya independence kra na edi din no emaye say e ho no ye friend Volta region into those people were already part of the Gold Coast and sana South Western Togoland for eba and Western Togoland for so mo ndoso okwa Volta region it's just about 3 or 4 parts of Volta region. And now, or more FOMA Western Togoland. So it's just a small number. So why is it that they want to overtake all of the Volta region? And people don't know this. Journalists and reporters don't know this. Into almost one more can trace Volta region 4, Volta region 4. But it's two different things. And also say Western Togoland 4 now we name history no. Omo kan so almost say Volta region 4 ni na and a pesa de no but say dabi. And your Volta region 4 because now Volta region was harder than Sana. Yes, I was in Togoland no eba. Now, we see Transvolta Togoland consisted of 6 districts. Still, it is Togoland 4 year come once and yes, only 6 districts. Only 6 districts. We see consisted of 6 districts which participated in a 1956 plebiscite to join or not to join the Gold Coast. These districts were from Mamprusi, Dagomba, Gonja, Buem, and Pando and Ho. Transvolta Togoland was actually a landlocked territory having no access to the sea. After the Transvolta Togoland voted yes, 58% against 42% to join Gold Coast and on attainment of independence by Gold Coast on 6 March 1957, Transvolta Togoland was split variously and placed into Upper East Region, Northern Region, and a newly created region from part of the eastern province of Gold Coast named Volta region. It's a profu bebre ba yake. Sa Togoland foi, wamo ya 6 peo. Na sa 6 no, uba Volta region krana. Ye sheda na ye di omo beka ho, embra Ghana ye benya independence no. And ye ka say okay, uba Volta region na. Yemfa 2 of those districts wamo free Transvolta Togoland no yemfa omo beka ho, which was Pando and Ho. Into uko Buem Krachi, wamoso ye nkrofobia originally no mo ka Transvolta Togoland for ne ho, Dagomba for nso eka ho, Gonja for nso eka ho. Into they are consist Mamprusi for nso ka ho. Into omo ye just 6 districts. And out of that 6 districts no, 2 and ye Ghana ye change from Gold Coast to Ghana no, and ye ka say that part of the country no, yan tu ni na din Volta region. Ni yemfa sa nkrofo no omo abeka ye ho no yemfa wo mumu mienu embeka Volta region fo ho ene ye de beka ho nti adan nende nkrofo yi wo mo nti asem na ase wo mo pese wo mo pese ade ni looking like oh and the whole of Volta region but initially no only 2 and this is coming from Emeritus Professor obi a wa school edu echi wa tro nhoma a UN fo ni na ekoti and the University of Ghana library in humani bi wo history historian and humani bi wo ankrofo Asian. Mishadana me di way by to educate people because as a adiano they are deceiving people. Don't try to comment box ni mo me da say.